everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And we are underway from Cincinnati. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M. That's Ryan Tannehill.
And many believe that Ryan Tannehill is ready to fulfill his promise. Been in the league a little while now, been through some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises, but the talent is evident. Can run it, can throw it, and I think now he's ready to be a great leader.
Ready? Mike, 56, right there, 56. You're not ready. Get down.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Complete to the right side, it's Eifert. And right away, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. There he goes, left side. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Please,
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well. Helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL. But Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
That's the way. Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DK Metcalf, 37 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Go now. 70, Indy. Check.
Tannehill now to throw. To Switzer over the middle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Ready?
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Jags grab it. Powering forward. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys, a place like that, can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Raiders have jumped out to an early lead over the Chiefs. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he'll find Thielen on the right side. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 17-0 our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
On the double. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I'm coming after you. Check. Shoot.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Let's go.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 41, Roethlisberger. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Throw left side completes Isabella. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. On first down, it's Grant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Mike, here we go. Like 80. Mike, rip left.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go. On third down, Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DK Metcalf. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returnable for Grant.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
You see me? They can't stop me out here.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Check pass, check pass. Hey, check Mike 27, check Mike 27. I got one.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
8, read. Stop your whining. Go.
On first down, Tannehill. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Earl Thomas was so good at Texas, playing center field, playing free safety, that they thought if he came back for one more year, they're going to have to move him to corner. Those are the types of skills he has. That's what we just saw there. Too deep coverage, came off of the, near the hash mark, and made an excellent play on the football. Boy, can he roam.
Yep, and not really tall at 5'10", but he can roam, and he's disruptive. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point try good by Gano. And the route is on here in this first half. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Tannehill. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
first kick 47. This one looks good as well. Here comes Grant on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play.
He's got it at the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is caught, and he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Big Ben with his fourth touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gano now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin in the AFC South. It's Indianapolis on the road at Tennessee. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Baker Mayfield with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football, this nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for his team.
It's been a big highlight day for him. He'll have a first down past the 40. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Leonard Fournette. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. There goes a deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
60 outlaw. The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get it.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First and 10.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Ready? On 2nd down, it's Smith. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
56.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you don't get a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Outright, he gets this one to Switzer.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now a give coming right is Breida. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On first down, it's Tannehill. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Tannehill toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
False start. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Tannehill throwing again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 2.
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Bengals are in for 6. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. And I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together, and I gotta tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me.
He's going to go, Albert Wilson. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Albert Wilson, 66 yards. And the Bengals gain a bit of respectability.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon.
53, Mike Snickers, 66.
Fournette, a first down carry. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 39, Roethlisberger. That's Samuel, caught left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Here we go.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, shedding the tackle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They will run with Grant, and he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
The throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tannehill. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, Tannehill. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Ready?
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Jacksonville, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. Up